Is rap getting too personal, but in an unnecessary way? This great genre of music is nowadays dragged through the mud just to throw fuel into ongoing feuds, and the public's taking notice. Here are some rap lyrics that wasn't received as planned. Number 5. J. Cole 7-Minute Drill. First of all, we have to talk about the latest diss track in 2024, which was J. Cole's track 7-Minute Drill, released during escalating tensions between him, Kendrick Lamar, and Drake. Initially, what seemed like a competitive exchange between two of hip-hop's most respected lyricists quickly spiraled into a deeper conflict. The song was a response to Kendrick's verse on Like That, in which Lamar discussed the notion of a big three in hip-hop, those being Cole, Drake, and himself, by implying it was only a big me. The opening bars set the tone as Cole takes aim at Kendrick's perceived decline in consistency. He starts by referencing a phone call, informing him of Lamar's diss, and the response is immediate. He's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons, a dig at how Lamar's creative output has slowed, much like the later seasons of the long-running TV show. Cole dismisses Kendrick's more recent projects, calling To Pimp a Butterfly sleep-inducing, and describing Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers as tragic. He contrasts this with his own trajectory, claiming that he is just hitting his prime now. One of the most telling lines is 4 albums in 12 rows, Nia I Can Divide, where Cole highlights Kendrick's relatively sparse discography compared to his own. This echoes Jay-Z's legendary diss and takeover against Nas, reinforcing Cole's claim that Kendrick's work rate has diminished. Cole continues to frame Kendrick as someone chasing rewards rather than staying true to the craft, stating, "I got here off of bars, not no controversy." This is a direct swipe at Kendrick's occasional provocations, suggesting that Lamar's career has been driven by the need for attention rather than sustained lyrical excellence. Despite the harshness, Cole expresses some heat, saying, "Lord, don't make me have to smoke this Nia cause I folk with him, but push come to shove, on this mic, I will humble him." This line highlights Cole's respect for Kendrick as a peer, but also reaffirms that if necessary, he will assert his dominance. However, just days after releasing the track, Cole started feeling the weight of the situation. Despite the hype surrounding the diss, he admitted during a heartfelt speech at the Dreamville Festival that he regretted releasing the song. That's pretty noble of him, right? Cole confessed that 7-Minute Drill didn't sit right with his spirit, calling it the lamest shade he had ever done. He reflected on the pressure to engage in rap beef, noting that fans and peers expected blood in these kinds of lyrical battles. He stressed that he respected Kendrick as one of the greatest rappers to ever hold a microphone. And in a surprising move, Cole followed through on his promise to remove 7-Minute Drill from streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music just days after its release. Number 4. Family Matters, Drake. Next up is Drake's track Family Matters, which was his attempt to end the long-standing tension with Kendrick Lamar, a feud that had simmered beneath the surface for years. The song can be seen as Drake extending an olive branch, albeit in his characteristic competitive way. Throughout the track, Drake refers to the symbolic red button, a metaphor for his power to intensify or end the conflict at any moment. By pressing it, he hoped to close the chapter on their rivalry. However, Drake's approach in Family Matters wasn't a typical peace offering. The song has a dual tone to it. On one hand, it tries to move past the tension, and on the other, it subtly reminds Kendrick of Drake's dominance in the rap game. Drake seems to be saying, "I don't need this beef, but I can escalate it if I want to." The reference to the red button is Drake's way of asserting that he could end the feud on his terms whenever he chooses. He uses this metaphor to convey that while he's willing to let things go, he also has the power to make the situation much worse for Kendrick if necessary. Despite Drake's effort, Kendrick Lamar wasn't ready to let it go. Just days after the release of Family Matters, Kendrick fired back with his own track Meet the Grams. In this song, Kendrick not only rejects Drake's attempts to resolve the feud, but also overshadows him entirely. It was sharp and direct, calling out Drake's position in the industry and mocking his attempts at diplomacy. Kendrick's quick response showed that he wasn't interested in burying the hatchet. If anything, he saw Drake's track as weak. Perhaps you should judge it after hearing it yourself. Anyhow, Family Matters failed to achieve what Drake had hoped, and the believers heard it for what it is. Number 3, Meet the Grams, Kendrick Lamar. We talked about Drake's Family Matters not catching the expected drift and hype. And now, it's time we looked at Kendrick Lamar's response diss track to this, Meet the Grams. It's a calculated and intense critique of Drake's character, personal life, and even his family. In this song, Kendrick doesn't just take a few shots, he targets Drake's entire persona and family, exposing rumors and calling out Drake's hypocrisy. The song begins with Kendrick addressing Drake's son Adonis. "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father." He apologizes that Adonis has to grow up with a father like Drake, who Kendrick suggests is more interested in his career and fame than being a present parent. This line is particularly devastating because it builds on previous allegations about Drake hiding his son, making Kendrick's attack feel deeply personal. The second verse takes an even darker turn where Kendrick addresses Drake's parents, Sandra and Dennis. He criticizes them for raising what he considers a manipulative person. "You raised a horrible fucking person, the nerve of you, Dennis." And Lamar accuses Drake of using his mixed race background to gain favor in the black community without genuinely supporting it. Kendrick emphasizes Drake's superficial engagement with black culture, portraying him as someone who profits off of it without truly representing it. One of the most shocking parts of the song is Kendrick's reference to an alleged second child that Drake is supposedly hiding. But I would like to say it's not your fault he's hiding another child. This rumor becomes a major blow in the diss as Kendrick positions himself as someone who understands the responsibility of fatherhood in contrast to Drake's perceived neglect. Lyrically, Kendrick doesn't hold back. He makes accusations about Drake's supposed plastic surgery, his pill addiction, and even hints that Drake's record label might be sheltering predators. These claims paint a picture of Drake as someone who hides behind his fame and money to avoid accountability. Even with this winning, maybe on a feudal level, surprisingly, it wasn't universally well received by the public. Why? One of the primary reasons Meet the Grams faced criticism was its intensely personal nature. Many felt that bringing innocent family members into the feud crossed a line. Another issue is the growing fatigue with public rap feuds. At a time when hip-hop fans have seen countless artist beefs, many were getting tired of the constant back and forths. Number 2, Easy, Kanye West. Kanye West's boast about having the best divorce ever comes from his song Easy, where he raps about his split from Kim Kardashian. In the track, Kanye tries to frame their divorce in a lighthearted, collaborative manner, saying, "We're having the best divorce ever. If we go to court, we'll go to court together." The line seems to suggest that they were handling the situation mutually. However, this sentiment turned dark, contrasted by Kanye's subsequent controversies, including disturbing comments about Hitler and anti-Semitism, which led to major brand partnerships like Adidas and Balenciaga cutting ties with him, resulting in a significant financial hit. His net worth dropped from over $1 billion to around $400 million. Deserving? Well, it seems so. In the same song, Kanye also takes jabs at Pete Davidson's, Kim's then-boyfriend, rapping, "God save me from that crush, just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ace," showing his personal frustrations bleeding into public statements. All these factors led to this rap turning awkward as a cat in a lion's costume. What initially sounded like a confident spin on a difficult situation was soon some crazy behavior on Kanye's part. Number 1, No Future, B.O.B. In 2011, Bobby Ray Simmons Jr., B.O.B., responded to Aunt Future's leader Tyler the Creator with the diss track No Future after Tyler mocked him in Yonkers. Tyler took aim at B.O.B., his hit song Airplanes, and his collaborators, including Hayley Williams and Bruno Mars. B.O.B. fired back, calling Odd Future clowns and predicting they wouldn't have a future in the industry. However, B.O.B.'s claim turned out to be inaccurate. Members of Odd Future, particularly Tyler, Frank Ocean, and Earl Sweatshirt, went on to have highly successful solo careers. Tyler's career trajectory has been especially remarkable, with multiple Grammy Awards and critically acclaimed albums. Frank Ocean also became a music icon with his influential works like Chanel Orange and Blonde, while Earl Sweatshirt built a reputation for his introspective lyricism. Tyler's reaction to the diss was surprisingly lighthearted. Rather than escalating the feud, he praised B.O.B.'s rapping skills, saying he didn't even consider it a serious diss. He did, however, reiterate his dislike for the song Airplanes. In the end, the beef fizzled out, and Odd Future's members went on to prove that they indeed had a bright future ahead. Well guys, that's about it. Got any others? Do comment down below, and for much more content, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, see you guys later.